What is a PGPA Act? It's the Public Government's Performance and Accountability Act. So that's the new legislation that the resource management framework sits under for the Commonwealth Government. One of the really particular elements of that was new was called the Performance Monitoring and Management Reporting. So because it's become more formalised, you've got your planning at the PBS and corporate planning stage. So the PBS just talks about, here's your money, here's where you got to spend it, and here's the kind of indicators that we want to put against your programs, against the administered monies. Corporate plan's about how are you going to achieve your purpose. So it's not just the money, it's the activity that's going to get you where you need to get to reach your outcome, to supply those services to clients. And that's a requirement now. The other requirement is that you must report on what you said you were going to do. Previously, government agencies have always reported on their successes and their achievements, but they've never really been held accountable against what they said they're going to do. Now it's specified. So you need to develop a corporate plan, you need to make it cover certain areas, and you need to have specific KPIs and other performance indicators. Those performance indicators are crucial, and everyone knows what a performance indicator is, and it's great when you're talking to executives because they get it, they understand what it is, they know what they should be doing. But when you start saying, yeah, but how do you impact on your outcome? How do you impact on your purpose? It becomes more difficult to measure. Some agencies are easier because they're service orientated and they have more widgets. Other agencies are more difficult because their outcome is more amorphous. So, how do you determine if homelessness in Australia is decreasing? How do you determine if Australia's health is getting better? How do you determine if people are more willing and happy to pay their taxes on time? There's some really difficult things in those areas to measure and to understand. Basically, how is government delivering services to the Australian public? And I guess another requirement in there, because secretaries and agency CEOs are now required to say and sign off an assurance that says, just like the financial statements, that says, I put I back what I'm saying in this performance statement. All the numbers are correct. There's nothing in there that's wrong. It's a true and fair statement almost is what they're saying. That's never had happened before. So there's a new focus on management assurance, and that's a really important part of the exercise now. So those agencies, like the one I'm working at now that count widgets, really need to go back and make sure that what they're counting is absolutely correct, because now they can be audited. And that's a little bit scary, I guess. You've got people who have told a good story, and that's been really good, but sometimes it hasn't always been supported. Now it has to be supported. So that's a really rigid part of what we're doing. As part of that management assurance, we're looking for and creating dashboards. What does a dashboard do? It's all about monitoring. So during the year, the executive really want to understand what they're doing from the corporate plan through to the annual report. Are we achieving what we said we would achieve? If we're not, why? And what do we do to address that, if we can? It's not unusual for agencies to have a change mid-year as well. So there may be a requirement just to say, you know what, we said we're going to do this. We've had a MOG, we've had a policy change, we've had a government priority change, and that will make a big difference in relation to performance and monitoring. And that's where those dashboards come in. We said we're going to do this, we're going to monitor it during the year. We may have to change direction, but that allows you to change your dashboard and make sure you're still monitoring and looking at those measures to see that you're on track to achieve it by the end of the year.